Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the support and love you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you are super sweet. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this interview Justin Jones had, and he was calling out the fascism in Tennessee House of Representatives, and he was not mincing words. And then now let's talk about this. These people are really very scared because they know how outspoken the two Justins are, Justin Pearson and Justin Jones, right? And he was calling them all out that it was in House of Tennessee that they told him that he was not, that he was worthless. Like, he was told that he was worthless. And also it was still in the same house that they said that it is time to bring back Lane and Shane. I mean, hanging black people. And the two Justins, they really have been up and down, and they are so scared that these young men are in the house. And I love the fact that these young men are giving them back, like giving it to them back to back. They are not scared. They are really super smart. They are very educated, young and vibrant. So they are being scared that maybe, like, and all they are wanting is, like, they do not want the left, because that was what they called it. The black people are the people on the left, and they are the people on the right, right? So all they are working is that they do not want power to go to the left. They want the power to remain in the right, because they are scared of what they have been given to black people. I mean, can you imagine the oppressor being scared? I mean, you are the one oppressing people, and you are at the same time scared. You have not seen anything, because eventually the table is gonna turn. Now, I keep saying it, like, it has never been in black like American history that black people are violent. You should check everywhere. You all will concur with me that the colored people have always been the violent one, but they are still scared. I am just going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and straight up here we'll go.
Take a listen to Representative Justin Jones out of the lovely state of Tennessee, where I reside, as he calls out the fascism within the Tennessee government. But don't believe me, just watch. Press play.
Are you seeing the rise of fascism in Tennessee, and how are they trying to enforce that?
My first week there, I'm on the elevator. Senator Jack Johnson makes sure to tell me that you are worthless. And you don't belong here. You go to committee, you have Senator Paul Sherrill say, as we're talking about a death penalty bill, we should bring back hanging by a tree. We have members who filed bills to protect Confederate monuments, because that was one thing that we finally got removed, and they were so angry about it. The statue of KKK Grand was in Nathan Bedford Forest that sat in the most prominent location in our capital. We love to go around the world talking about democracy, but in our state, we don't have democracy. We come from a state that is the birthplace of the Klan. Their heirs run our government. After that experience with Jack Johnson, I started to realize that I'm not here to make friends, but we're here to make change.
Come on.
And so my Democratic colleagues, there's a timidity there. Even when I got expelled, he said, go up and apologize, and then maybe they won't expel you. This is what our leadership told us.
Wow.
I said, you know who needs to apologize as a speaker to these families, to these young people. And so one thing I learned when we fight fascism, because it is fascism, it's one party rule, is that we cannot bow down. Tennessee is the birthplace of the Klan, but it's also the birthplace of the Nashville student movement. There will be no civil rights movement without Nashville. We are the city of Diane Nash, of John Lewis, of Bernard Lafayette. We are the city of students who said we're going to continue the freedom rise after the buses were bombed in Anderson. We are the state where that continued. And so we come from this duality of white supremacy, but we're also the state where Ida B. Wells challenged lynching. We're also the state of Highlander folks, but we're also the state of the Clinton Nine. I mean, we have a powerful legacy, and so we're grounded in that. And that's what we see when we go into the Capitol. And so these fascists, yes, they rule our state. We have one party rule. We don't allow dissents, because everyone said, how was it to be expelled? What were you thinking? I said, it was just another day in the Tennessee General Assembly. Because we were not allowed to speak in committee. We're not recognized on the floor. We're not treated as equal members. I got ruled out of order more than any member had been ruled to that point. Because when they shut off my microphone, I kept talking. And as you saw, when they shut off our microphone, I pulled out a megaphone out of my pocket.
Now, if you are like me, you have grown up in the South, been born and raised, and These racist monuments are all around you at every step. Now, how many times have you heard that the Confederacy is a part of their heritage? When in all actuality, the Confederate flag is not about their heritage. It is simply about their hate. Now, they will bend themselves over into a pretzel trying to convince us that the Civil War was about Southern independence and it wasn't about slavery. Slavery just happened to be going on at that particular time. And it was all about states' rights. Yeah, states' rights to do what? Keep that thing called slavery going. Now, how long did the Confederacy last? Don't worry, I'll wait. In the meantime, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air lasted longer than the Confederacy. Different Strokes lasted longer than the Confederacy. Ghostbusters Cereal lasted longer than the Confederacy. Destiny's Child lasted longer than the Confederacy. My J's lasted longer than the Confederacy. And last but not least, my mama wigs lasted longer than the Confederacy. But truth be told, y'all, you see the Confederacy, oh, it ain't nothing more than a deep stain in American history that continues to get darker, darker, and darker. And there's a group of people who would just love to take us back to those days and times. And just like Justin Jones said, we gotta keep fighting a good fight. We gotta look for necessary trouble, good trouble. And when they cut our mics off, we got to simply pull out them bull horns and get louder and louder and louder. And most importantly, y'all, when it's time to vote, we got to march our asses to those polls and vote these mother suckers out one by one. And those would be facts on facts on facts on top of facts. Carry on.
Tennessee is the state where the Klan was founded on Christmas Eve in 1865 by Nathan Bedford Forrest. Tennessee also had a statue for Nathan Bedford Forrest on the side of the I-65 in Nashville up until 2021. Tennessee also had a Nathan Bedford Forrest bust in the state capitol in Nashville, Tennessee until 2021. So when Democratic reps in Tennessee, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, are expelled for protesting and standing in solidarity with our children and our parents who are against gun violence, it's not that so-called white supremacy is on the rise. It's not that democracy is eroding. It's that so-called white supremacy has always been here. It's never gone away. And it's that democracy has never fully been here in the first place, especially for black folks. What we actually have and have always had is a plutocracy, a government for the wealthy. And to be more specific, a racial patriarchal plutocracy, a government for wealthy white men. That has been the status quo, and that status quo must change. We got to keep organizing, y'all. The Confederate side has never stopped fighting.
Tennessee Holler released today some audio from Republican state legislators meeting and getting mad at each other. What was your response to that? What do you think was important from that leaked audio?
That it was very just surreal to hear that, to hear the commentary and to realize that for them, they really are reenacting the Civil War. You heard Representative Sapicki say, we need to come hard against them, because if we don't, Tennessee will fall and the Southeast will fall and the left will take over. And he said, I hate that I have to see, Jones in these sacred halls where the greats of Tennessee stood. And so you hear this mentality that is very extreme and very alarming. I mean, we're dealing with people who want to reenact the Civil War, who don't believe someone of like me or Representative Pearson, young black lawmakers even deserve to be in the legislature. But you also hear them fighting amongst each other. I mean, I've heard from Republicans who are calling on the House Speaker to resign, Cameron Sexton. There's a lot of division within their caucus. You heard in that recorded conversation, just the infighting and the dysfunction in the Republican Party here in Tennessee, because they've been controlled by these extreme forces. And so you had Representative Zachary, breaking down at the beginning of the call, and just up in arms that they did not all just fall, in step behind the speaker's push to expel us. And it shows that they are not free to think for themselves either. That if you diverge from their caucus leadership, then you're seen as an outsider, like Representative Barrett is being seen now. Jody Barrett, who voted against expelling Gloria Johnson. And so it's very extreme mentality going on there, and it's very troubling.
Democratic Tennessee State Representative Justin Jones, thanks so much, and congratulations on.
So let me give you a clear example of how this is not Jim Crow. During Jim Crow, you had explicit laws that were intentionally designed to language black people as non-human, less than human, less valuable, less important structurally, and not able to access citizenship and any equal rights. It was very clear, it was very explicit. But that was a mechanism for something bigger. And this is where the continuity remains. That was a mechanism for what would then have been called white power or white supremacy in that context, which is the control of resources, the control of space, and the creation of a social world based on race and racial privilege. So the question is, well, how do you get to that kind of outcome after the civil rights movement? You want to create that outcome? You can't create laws that say black people can't vote, black people can't have the same resources in school, black people can't fill in the blank. You create structural racism, a language of race-neutral language, laws that produce economically almost the same effects, socially very similar effects. Yes, we have a larger middle class. I can hear Glenn. Yes, we have a larger middle class, but we have a much more isolated, controlled, and desperate black working class and poor that is not just the product of poverty, but the product of structural racism in relationship to the evisceration of resources in black communities. So it's not just poverty in the abstract. It's why you see very different formations of community among black poor and other groups of people who are poor. So structural racism, for those who don't follow this field at all, the very simple definition is the normalized, that's very important because it's not exceptional, it's normalized, and legitimized range of policies, practices, and attitudes. So it's belief, policy, and practices that routinely, not exceptionally, produce cumulative and chronic adverse outcomes for people of color, especially black people, and it's the main driver of racial inequality and racial discrimination in America today.
So this is all I got from this video. And first of all, I'm going to say that these people are really very scared. They are scared in the sense that I think I saw the interview, they aired this interview a few days ago. And I saw it, I was like, whoa, they are very scared because they feel like these Justins are very young and they are really there to stay. And you all remember what happened back then, I think like some months ago, when they were very outspoken, they did not mince words and all, they're calling them all out on their racism and their bullshit. And they ended up being expelled and then reinstated again. And since then, they have been fighting tooth and nail because they are scared. And then why are they scared? I mean, they have always been the standard. They are the ones, like, that is bubbling and all that. Why are they being scared? Because of these two young men. Because these young men came, I mean, they are fire. They are not scared. They tell you how it is. They don't know, they don't care what the consequences are and the rest of it. And you can imagine people that are in the house, I mean, the speakers, they caught them on tape, on record, saying some crazy things about them. Why? Because they do not want these young men to remain in the being in that floor and all that with them. And all they want is, like, you heard what he said, that all these people in the left, so the people who are in the left are like the black people and the rest of the minorities and all that. So they are, what they want right now is they really want to like maintain that. See, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I keep saying, peradventure this table moves or table turns, trust me, these people are just, I don't know what will happen, but it's not going to be it is going to be tough for them. And they are scared all the time because they think the violence they have, like the things they have done to black people, they have really not been nice to black people. So they think all the things they have done to black people, that if the table turns, that they are going to receive the whole thing back in. And then I keep asking them, Why are you people being scared when you all are the ones oppressing people? I mean, the oppressor is being scared to be oppressed. You can just imagine this kind of something. But then it has never been in Black history to be violent. Check the whole history of America. It is not Black people being violent. They have always been the violent one. And they are still scared that the table is going to talk. But it's all right. And you all heard what they also say. Like, it's just really amazing how some certain thing happens and they do not get repercussions for it. Like you heard them say, bringing back Wayne and Shane and all that. And this person is still maintaining his position. There was nothing like sacking. There was nothing like, you know, sorry, you said something right to the seat and you should not be in the House anymore, House of Representatives anymore. No, this same person is still in the office as we speak. But then it is what it is. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much for the support and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.